Hi, lovelies. Let me tell you, I just had the best. So happy to be back with you, lovelies. Oh my gosh. Today's video is all about a makeup tutorial. I've had so many suggestions, people saying, please, please give me a tutorial. I'd love to know how you do your makeup. So I thought, yeah, why not? I've never done a makeup tutorial video before, so it's obviously not gonna be like, you know, the amazing, incredible Nikki tutorials. Oh. Hi, honey. Just hanging out with Debbie. Watch how I get ready, see what products that I use. The best part of this video that I'm introducing as a new moment in Debbie Does is a fresh new cocktail every video so that you can make the cocktail, watch the video, and get buzzed with Debbie. This is going to be the summer drink of 2021. For today's featured cocktail, I'm calling it Girlicious Long Island Iced Tea. That's right, trending. Ingredients are 1 ounce of vodka, 1.5 ounce of white wine of your choice. I used Pinot Grigio. A full can of White Claw. I chose Black Cherry White Claw, followed by any sort of like strawberry, raspberry, lemonade. It tastes like... Oopsies. Whew. Now that my face is freshly shaven, let's get into this drag makeup tutorial debut. Yes, ma'am. Block the brows. So this is how I block my brows. I do about 3 layers, and I do glue, then powder,
then glue, then powder, then glue, then powder.
Brow brush, and give it a little comb through because you gotta have nice brows. The glue that I use is the Elmer's glue. It's the purple glue because when it dries clear. So then you're not just like wondering if the glue has been, you know, is it done? Just take it and I go like all over, back and forth to lather it up. And then I go through with my comb and I comb it straight upwards. And then I go over, but this time I go upwards to kind of like press the little hairs down. I'm gonna show you how to do everything on the right side of my face, and then off camera, I'm gonna do the left side of my face. I just use any powder that you have, like so, and then I just dab and press on that powder. Dip, dip, press, press. And then you just brush off the excess powder, and you do this process 3 times. After the 3rd time, full coverage makeup, and I plop it on my brow, and it literally will disappear. Full coverage by MAC. In the shade NW20. And what I do is I press and roll and lift. Press and roll, press and roll. And then I take that same sponge and I go over with the same powder. And I usually do this twice. Now, one of the key things for doing drag to get rid of any stubble, I take this NYX concealer corrector in the shade Orange. Now this is gonna get rid of the black and blue tones of your facial hair. And here's a tip. I do it under my eyes because like today they're a little puffy. I look crazy. But this is what happens when you do drag. But you turn out feeling fancy AF. I take my same concealer, the MAC Full Coverage NW20, and I go over first all the orange. And then you take your trusty beauty blender, and this is where, when you hear someone say beating the face, when you beat the face when you do makeup, this is what they mean. Until everything, this gives you an airbrushed look. Now on to contouring. So with, and you'll love this because I use drugstore makeup most of the time. For my contour, I use Maybelline Fit Me in the shade Toffee. Put dark to make it go in, and then the lighter colors to make it pop out, so then you get, you know, your shape. So I go above the ear, and I go just underneath my actual jawbone to about there, edge of my eye. And then I also go up into the temple, and then I just take it across make kind of like a hook. And then I go right underneath. Now with the jawline, I like to round out my jaw. And you just follow slightly above your jawline. So that, see how it like, it cancels everything out. And then I do a couple dabs. Oh yeah, she's running low. Now a tip with Beauty Blender, if you don't know, make sure you damp it, run it under water, and then take a towel and squeeze out the rest of the water, because if it's dry, when you apply, you're gonna remove the makeup, and you don't wanna do that with how long it takes and dry. That way, when you're blending, it mixes the makeup and it doesn't take it off. Lots of tips from Debbie today. When I go into my contouring, I use the round part of it. You want to first go over the line, and then you wanna make small circular motions the whole way to smooth everything out. Just the circular motion just spreads it. That's my scientific approach to it. And same thing here in the temple, small circles. I don't really do the circles up top here. I just blend the crap out of it. And then I just take the jaw, and here I do the same thing, circles. I take a flat brush right where my brow is. I start there, and I honestly do one line all the way down. And then I kind of go up into my brow. That's where my cut crease is gonna go. And I just kind of fill it out till it's like a little bit of a thick line all the way down. And then I take my trusty old middle finger and I blend with my finger. Now that I'm fully contoured, highlighter. The same Maybelline Fit Me. Now this shade is in Porcelain. So you go right under the bags, then I go right up my nose to meet the contour. And then I do like a little triangle. I meet edges, and then from the base of the triangle, I go all the way up into my hairline. In between my contour, so in between my cheek and my jawline, I do a little line just to give an extra pop. I just do one line, two line, three line. The base of a dandelion. And then I obviously take that all the way down the bridge of my nose. Do a little boop and a little boop. This Beauty Blender is really great because it has a nice flat edge to it, and that's what I use for my highlight. So then I go in and I blend as my right eye is slightly cross-eyed. For under the jaw, I just drag the sponge. That's why this flat edge is so nice. And then I go over it with a little tap tap. Highlighting, done. Oh, now that everything is finished, we have to set with powder. Couple squirts, lightly go over everything, the entire face. Take that same brush that I was using to brush off. This is like brushing any powder or excess powder. And I go through pretty aggressively everywhere. I always pray to the brow gods. I'm nervous because I'm doing this on camera and I've never really shown people how I do it, but here we go. You see where my contour is? That's the base of my brow. And I'm gonna go straight up on a nice angle, kind of going right through the middle of my brow. Oh, honey. See, any imperfections like that, I can go in with white and just cancel that crap out. And I just copy. And I go to a tip, and then I immediately bring it down, because I like to have a clean, really snatched brow. And then I just fill it in. This is like coloring. Now to fill in the rest of the brow, I do three things. One, I have my black MAC eye pencil, and this is in the shade Ebony. And this is where I start to then make it more defined. I have the Urban Decay Naked Reloaded. I take this kind of like circular brush. I'm using the color Endgame. I just dab.
Dab, 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 dab.
Not bad. Okay, let's fix this area because I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go back to my MAC full coverage. I'm gonna use this tip of a brush, fix this brow. In over top. Oh my God. I mean, like, come on, gold. And then I go with a little bit of the color Bribe, and I go at the base of my brow. And then I kind of like just have a little fun with some
Tap, 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 tap.
and it just ombres the crap out of it. Look at that. Or I'm gonna carve out my cut crease. I use the same Urban Decay palette, and I go in with the shade Bucked. So this one right here. The brush I use is this head of a brush. I go in pretty light, I don't go heavy. So I go from where I started my nose contour, and then I do like a half moon shape, and then I go right to the edge of my eyelid. That just helps me get a sense of where my cut crease is gonna be and where my new lid is gonna be. I'm gonna go back with the same palette, and I'm using the shade Retro. Basically right over where my cut crease is, starting at the edge of my eye, I just kinda press it on. More or less so at the edge. And then as I go up, then I start to do slight little strokes. And once I get to here, I then start to wing it up slightly. This is when I go in with my eyeliner. I use NYX Cosmetics Epic Ink Liner in the shade Literally Black. I'm gonna start the liner on the inner part of my eye. Now that I have the base, I'm gonna start going up a little bit higher and keeping it a little more on an angle. I pull my skin, I'm gonna do a straight line to connect. Boom. And then from that tip, then I just connect the lines. And now I'm just gonna go like so. Make a swooping line, and then I'm gonna start slightly making the shape of my cut crease. Very, very lightly, but I don't fill everything in. Small strokes. So you see how it's kind of like ombreing in to onto my lid. So when I open it, that's giving me the shape that I want. And to set that, I go in with very pointy circular brush, the MAC black eyeshadow, that's called Carbon. Kind of dab everything in to set the eyeliner. And then I start to kind of ombre in, smooth out those sharp edges. Am I filming? I just had a moment, was like, is my camera on? So once that's all filled in, see how it's getting be kind of smoky? I had a question online about this makeup. How do you get your smoky eye to not look like a raccoon eye, basically? I go just slightly above the line of where I did the eyeliner, smudge it out, get it a little soft, and then I continue into the line just a little bit, just blend the top part of it out. Back to the Urban Decay palette in the color Endgame. I'm gonna go in with this brush. It's kind of the same thickness all the way around, but it has a slight tip. And now I'm just going to go right over what I was doing with the black, right into the inner corner of my eye, and I'm really gonna start, see now I'm getting more of a cut crease. I'm just gonna keep repeating this process until you can't see that harsh black line. Now that I have this palette open, now I'm gonna go back and really define the color Retro. I really like to blend the color into the brow area. You still have your shape, and now all this is my new lid. Next, I'm gonna fill in right where I was doing with the brown. It's this really nice purple shade right there. And I'm using this brush, and right where my cut crease is, I just go to town. Oh, the one brush that I have that is labeled is a MAC 217. Now I feel like a real makeup artist. Always keep a clean brush to blend out, so you're not adding more color, you're kind of just making sure that everything gets nice and blended and there's no harsh line. To finish off the shadow of the top of the eye. I go in with Ben Nye product in the shade White. I use this little hefty brush here. Apply this right at the top. Now we're getting the brow bone highlighter. And I just take it very, very lightly because I don't want it too strong. And I just fill in and redefine the brow. I use my finger to blend it out. Now I'm going to go back and redefine my new lid that I created, and I'm just going back and using my full coverage and carve out and really create a new eyelid. Then I go in with my clean brush and then I just kind of dab to blend it. And another 217. I'm gonna take the retro, I'm gonna go in and blend it into the black. So then you have a little bit of an ombre pink coming out of your eyeliner. And I take that clean brush and I blend with my eyeliner. And I just do the very, very top, like just to get a line here. And then I connect the two. I take that same brush that I used to blend out the black liner. I hope this is all making sense. I hope you're not watching this and be like, you're not doing it right. That's not how you explain it. Now it has the purple and I like a little bit darker underneath. So I'm gonna take the purple and I'm just gonna blend the purple in and go up underneath the wing of my eyeliner. So many products on my table. With the Ben Nye, go from the tip and I bring it in to the black. I just take the black, blend it in. So that way there's no like harsh black line. There we go. That's it. That's the eye. So I'm gonna go off camera, do the other eye, and then we'll do lashes. We're gonna do another prayer to the lash god after this. Boom. We're gonna go on to mascara, obviously. And this is a step I always seem to forget. I put my lashes on and then I'm like, ah. And a tip, never pump the wand. You want to swirl the wand. When you're pumping, you're adding air into the mascara and it dries it out faster. Come on, who knew? I'm gonna put my lashes on off camera because, I mean, we all know how to put lashes on. Tip, while the glue was drying, I'm gonna start my lips. So I'll be right back. And there it, oh, when you put lashes on, it's like the look, the feel, it just, I'm going in with a L'Oreal lipstick. It's a super dark purple. I know lips are like not, they don't have to be perfect, but I have this weird obsession that if the lips are not crisp, clean lines, Debbie just gets very irritated.
So I must make sure that they are crisp and clean. And I'm already seeing it, I'm already feeling it, and I need to fix it.
Full coverage foundation. Here's a great tip to define the line if you've made a mistake. Boom. So now I'm gonna go in with CoverGirl Melting Pout in the color, oh, Ballerina. I didn't know it was called Ballerina. Maybelline knew I was a dancer. Okay, and then finally, Revlon Super Lustrous The Gloss, shade Sky Pink. Perfect time to take a little break, have a little step. So to finish off the look, I go in with my MAC bronzing powder in the shade Refined Golden. Circular motions, like a big, first go in sharp and then circle. And I'm just going over everywhere that I did my contour. With my blush, another MAC product. in the shade Gentle. When I'm doing blush, I go slightly above where I did my contour. And I always start up in my hairline. If I started here, it's gonna be this blunt circle of blush, and you don't want that. So any excess, put it in the hair, because no one's gonna see it. And then I gradually go down, and then when I want the tip, I do my smile. And I go right on the cheekbone. My favorite product is MAC Soft and Gentle. This is the best highlighter ever. So I have my contour here, I have my blush a little bit higher, and then the shimmer goes right on the top. I'm going to go off camera, pop on a wig, pop on a top. So I hope you loved this tutorial. Remember to please subscribe and like this video. If you have any comments in terms of like what other looks you want or any other tutorials, please feel free to comment down below. If you did this look, please take photos, send them to me via Instagram. This was actually so much fun. I mean, I'm feeling my oats right now. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I am going to finish this really strong cocktail that I hope you've enjoyed and got a little tipsy with me as I do my makeup and as you did your makeup. I love you, lovelies. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye-bye.